What is behind this narrative? 1. Legitimization of negotiations without a victim of the conflict. An illusion is created that the fate of the war should be decided only by two superpowers, and the other participants interfere with a realistic peace. 2. Preparation for fixing territorial seizures. The exclusion of Ukraine and the EU from the negotiations makes it easier to secure conditions favorable to the Kremlin. 3rd, promotion of polycentricity in the Russian style. Under the guise of a multipolar world, a de facto bipolar agreement between the US and Russia is proposed, with a weakening of the role of the EU. This was the program Empire of Lies, Angliski. This is not even a conflict that affects the European security architecture. This is a conflict whose echoes are felt in China, India, and Latin America. That is why everyone is really looking forward to this meeting between the presidents. And I believe that Alaska should become a kind of starting point for a new world order, because after the Soviet Union collapsed, the polar system of international relations collapsed as well. There was a kind of unipolar moment, led by the United States and Western satellites. But then everyone began to strive for multipolarity, or rather, we began to strive for multipolarity, or as we call it, polycentricity. But now we see some kind of hybrid hierarchy. I believe that only Russia and the United States can be guarantors of stability for the new political system. And the Europeans, they are trying in every possible way to somehow reserve a place for themselves at the negotiating table. They understand that they are outsiders now, and they have already made a series of attempts to somehow influence Trump. This Wednesday, Merz is convening a video conference with the leaders of the European Union. He invited U.S. President Donald Trump there, invited the U.S. Vice President in order to somehow convey his point of view. They believe that representatives of the EU and Ukraine should also be present at these negotiations, and that any agreements between the US and Russia will be illegitimate. So now they are simply worried. How do they motivate it? Why will they be illegitimate? After all, Trump, as far as I know, does not claim that he is negotiating on behalf of the entire collective West. He is negotiating only on behalf of the United States. Why, from the point of view of Europe, does not the leader of a great power have the right to negotiate with the leader of another great power? I am trying to understand the logic. The fact is that Trump even indicated that the negotiations would concern not only the Ukrainian crisis, but that these negotiations would also concern economic cooperation with Russia.